What's up, guys? We got some great news today. We're going to be installing a 1-inch body lift on the Jeep. Step by step, you're going to see how it's done. Let's do it. The brand I went with was Black Mountain Suspension out of Texas. Picked these up for about 70 bucks on eBay. Got a sweet deal on them. And we're just gonna unbox them. Come with a cool sticker, bill of lading, and instructions. We're gonna need those for later. And the hardware kit. So we got this kit out. And we're gonna go ahead and open up these, and I'll lay everything out and we'll just talk about it for a second. Okay, so we have 2 in larger diameter lift blocks, and the rest are smaller diameter. 2 bump stops. We have the trans drop down plate, all of your hardware that go along with the lift blocks. We also have our radiator drop down plates. All of your hardware, it's all been counted, everything looks good. And here's the step-by-step instructions. You have your parts list and your installation instructions. But it looks pretty simple and very straightforward. So one of the first thing I'm gonna do is take this wheel chock and just make sure both wheels are chocked. Today it's about 97 degrees, so I'm gonna add this shade over the top of my Jeep. I've got the hood up and we're gonna get ready to remove the battery clamps. So next, I'm just gonna lift up on my coolant overflow bottle and I'm gonna set that off to the side right there. Once the overflow coolant bottle has been removed, we're gonna go ahead and remove the 4 bolts to the radiator fan shroud and move that forward. So we can access the bolts to the radiator and move that forward as well. So now that the fan shroud's out of the way, I can access the 6 bolts to the radiator. Let's go ahead and remove those. I find the best way to do that is with the 7/16 deep wall and a short-handled ratcheting wrench. Quick suggestion alert, get the bottom ones out first and then work your way up. Okay, so now our radiator has been totally detached from the radiator support. We're gonna go ahead and install those 1-inch drop down brackets. Okay, so the easiest way to explain this is now that the tub is gonna be raised up 1 inch, we need to maintain the radiator's position with the fan shroud. So in order to do that, we use these 6 drop down brackets. You'll see right here, there's a stud. The radiator will now be bolting to the stud, and we'll use the factory bolts that go into the radiator support, and that's how we'll get the 1-inch drop. Okay, so I ran into my first problem here with these radiator drop down brackets. As you can see, I'm getting ready to hook the radiator onto this stud, and the problem is that this bolt head is in the way. So if I don't put a spacer between the drop down bracket and the radiator, what's going to happen is when I start cinching these bolts down, it's going to bend the radiator frame. So I went down to my local hardware store and I bought 6 more of these nuts. These are the non-nylock 1/4-20 nuts, and I bought 6 more of these washers. So what I'm going to do is run a nut and then put a washer, and then that'll be, the nut and the washer will be between this surface, and that should give us enough clearance for this head bolt. Okay, so that's going to be my fix for this, and a quick, easy solution anyone can do if they buy this kit. Now that we have all this situated, we're just going to go ahead and leave the fan shroud unbolted from the radiator. That way this can all move around when we start to jack up the body and the tub. So let's go ahead and loosen up those lift block bolts right now, and we'll go start adding the lift blocks into the tub, between the tub and the chassis. So if you can't loosen up the bolt, go ahead and use a socket wrench with a breaker bar. So the last 2 are going to be right here by the gas tank next to the shock. You'll see the shock right here. See that one? You're going to loosen that bolt up, and the one on the opposite side, passenger side. Right now we're on the driver's side. And the best way I see fit for that is taking a long ratchet extension and ratcheting wrench And we're gonna break it loose down here. And that one's super loose as well. Okay, so here's the strategy. We're gonna install the driver's side and then work our way to the passenger side. We're gonna take these washers, we're gonna slip washers through the bolts, and we're gonna add anti-seize to the threads. This is really good shop practice. You can buy this anti-seize at the hardware store or at the AutoZone, auto parts store. Really cheap for less than $1, but it's always good shop practice to anti-seize bolts, especially under the suspension and drivetrain area where bolts are really prone to rusting out. Okay, so I have my jack like this set up. We're gonna go ahead and use my little stand, 2x2 steel tubing, and I'm just gonna go ahead and buzz these bolts off and then jack it up so we have a gap between the tub and the chassis mounts. That way we can stuff the 1-inch blocks in between these bushings. And we'll just go ahead and remove the old bolt out of the bottom bushing, and I'll slip the new bolt through, and then we'll install the new bolt and lower bushing, and then thread our bolt in. Just a couple threads, and we should be good. And for this side, I'm gonna have to move the jack closer to here so I can get it a little bit higher to slip that puck in. Okay, so I have this long pry bar right here. We're gonna go ahead and stick it in here and protect my paint with a towel, and that will give me some wiggle room to install the puck. I'm just gonna pry up just enough to get in there and center the puck over the bolt hole. And I'm gonna remove my pry bar. Okay, so I'm gonna take the old bushing, remove the old bolt, and I'm gonna take the new bolt. And by the way, this is gonna be the smaller bolt. I'm gonna install the new bolt in. Okay, so I just wanted to show you guys, I have this piece of wood right here wedged between the frame and the chassis, the tub and the chassis, and this 2x4 fit perfectly right in here behind this bracket, and I rigged up a piece of ratchet strap and hooked onto the chassis, one of the chassis holes there, and I was able to pull the 2x4 this way and push the tub over just enough to where I can get the hole lined up on this last bolt on the passenger side. So you guys kind of have to get creative if this happens to you, but it is certainly doable to get the holes lined up. Okay guys, we're back under the Jeep and we have our last 2 remaining lift blocks to install, and those are going to be right here in the back behind, right above the axle behind the gas tank. And I'll point to those right there. You see that hole right there? Right in between this gap here where I'm sticking the handle to my hammer, that's going to be where one puck goes, and then over here to the left is going to be the same on the other side of this exhaust pipe. So I'm gonna go ahead and install those. The setup I have is this 2x4 wood block. I'm just gonna go ahead and lift the frame here so I can get some clearance to install my lift block. Just gonna go ahead and do that because it's gonna be kind of hard to film this. One other trick is if that wood block's not successful, I can stick a little pry bar in there and just barely pry in it, and that lift block should slip in there no problem. Another helpful tip that helped me was this centering pin. I use this to align the bushings and the spacer and everything, and I just stick it through all of this without the bolt, and it lines everything up, and then I'll back it out, and then I'll add my bolt, and it threads right in. Hand tight. So in order to gain access to the bump stops, which are located right here, one here and one on the opposite side, driver's side. So with a T15 wrench Torx bit, we're going to remove the 3 bolts on the headlight bezel. So if you can see down there, right down there is a rubber grommet where it actually pushes into a serrated hole. We're going to go ahead and just rip that out by hand. And it's going to come out just like this. And the same for this side. So I'm just going to take some channel locks like these, and I'm going to grab onto that, just pull out. That's what it's going to look like. Okay, so that's what one bolt's going to look like, and then we'll go to the other side and install the other bolt in that hole there. Okay, so if you're having trouble feeding that bolt, you can always put it in a deep wall socket at an edge corner like that, and that'll actually hold onto your bolt while you go set it into the hole. Okay, so once your bump stops are installed, we're going to go ahead and reinstall our headlight bezels. Okay, so at this point, we are ready to tighten down and torque the 11 lift block bolts. There are 6 half-inch bolts, 3 on the driver's side and 3 on the passenger side. We are going to torque those down to 50 foot-pounds. The 4 rear 7/16 bolts, we're going to torque those to 35 foot-pounds. And don't forget the last one up front by the radiator. We're going to torque that one down as well, 35 foot-pounds. We're going to go ahead and install the fan shroud back on the radiator, and then we're going to prepare ourselves to do the next and the final task, which is installing the trans lowering brackets, and we'll do that next. And one last thing, don't forget to install your coolant overflow reservoir. Okay, so the first thing you notice is that my carpet is rolled up and put up out of the way. You're going to remove it from here, and there's 2 snap buttons underneath the seat. You're going to disconnect those buttons from underneath the seat and roll the carpet out of the way. And that will give you access to these 4 bolts here. Using a 10mm socket wrench, go ahead and remove all 4 bolts. Okay, so now that the 4 bolts are removed, the bracket can lower like this. We can go ahead and remove the bracket from the shift linkage, and it'll look something like this. So here we have the bracket that bolts to the tub. We're gonna go ahead and remove these 2 bolts with a 10mm socket wrench. Okay, so now that the bolts are loose and you can remove the plate and the rubber grommets, keep all of this together. We'll go ahead and remove the bolts, and then we're gonna bolt this plate to the drop-down linkage plate. Using the provided hardware that comes in the kit, we'll go ahead and install one of the 1/4 bolts. Then we'll go ahead and install the lock nuts. I'm gonna go ahead and tighten both of these bolts down. It's gonna look something like this. We're gonna take the 2 original bolts and bolt the plate back onto the larger mounting bracket. So we're gonna take this back to the Jeep and install it the same way as we removed it. Okay, so we're just gonna get the bracket up in there, and we're going to slip the shaft back into the bracket and go ahead and go back inside the cab of the Jeep, and we're gonna go ahead and bolt our original 4 10mm bolts to bolt this bracket in position. Okay, and so once you're done installing your bolts, go ahead and put your carpet back. So once everything's in position and all the hardware is nice and tight, it should look something like this. So the next things that we're gonna wanna do is just double check that our linkage is shifting properly from 4 high into 4 low and neutral, and then back to 2-wheel drive. So for the last part, don't forget, go ahead and reinstall your battery clamps. You can't get your Jeep into 4 low. What you wanna do is pull the 4 low lever all the way into the up position like it's gonna be in 4 low. Then, once you get under the Jeep, you're gonna locate a bolt. It's gonna be this one, when you undo this bolt and loosen it up, it will be able to slide on a shaft. You want to unloosen this bolt and slide this bracket back on the shaft so the torque shaft will come forward towards you. It just clicked into gear, and my lever is in the all the way up position. So now what I'm going to do, I'm going to go ahead and lock that nut down and retest it and make sure that everything is working properly. So I hope you like this mod. I had a lot of fun doing this project. Check out some other videos that may be helpful to you, and consider subscribing, helps out the channel, and we'll see you on the next one. Have a nice day. Peace.